It is very important to me that I do not look like a soccer dad. Now, I think what would be interesting is if right now, before you hear me say anything else, you leave a comment below and describe your vision of what constitutes as a soccer dad. Will you do that for me? I'm asking you to do that for me. Just pause the video, leave a comment. I don't want you to hear what I'm going to say until you type that in, because I think this will help prove my point. Okay, 30 seconds in, you've had your chance to type it. So here's the thing. Several years ago, of course, I buzz my hair off every couple of years consistently. And this would have been about, 8 years ago when I did it. And one of my coworkers at the time, her instant comment was, it looks nice, you look like a soccer dad. And I just don't like that. I don't want to look like a soccer dad. Nothing against soccer, nothing against dads, because I am a dad, but I don't want to be seen as a soccer dad. I don't want the look of a soccer dad. And I'm trying to break down what that actually means. And I think, in my mind, it means that it's a man who is so caught up in being a dad that he doesn't have the best fashion sense, specifically. And he doesn't necessarily stay lean. So let me unpack that. So I will say that I've had, a change over the years where I have undeniably, I've slimmed down, and I do work out, and I spend a lot of time, like often 2 hours a day on that. I have a very specific regimen that I eat every day. I do not drink alcohol. Like, there are certain things. It's very cut and dry. I live my life a certain way, a very strict lifestyle as others would see it. But for me, I enjoy it. So body recomposition, yes, that's happened over the years. As I've gotten older, I've gotten leaner and more muscular because I base my life around it. And also, this is a pattern that happens. I've seen other YouTubers talk about this. Naturally, once you start slimming down and you're smaller and you're leaner and you actually have more muscle mass and more of a masculine definition, you tend to start dressing better because A, you need more clothes, but if you're gonna spend money on more clothes, well, you want it to look good. You wanna make sure it's flattering. So you get this better vision of what it means to dress well. So for me, and I recently made a video where I'm wearing one of my sports jackets because sports jackets are my new thing. But when I'm not wearing a sports jacket and I'm polo, like here's another version of it. So like this is, it's a button-down shirt. It's more of a casual shirt. And then here's a new jacket that I got. It's kind of almost like a military style. But when you look at it, it's not that far removed from the concept of a sports jacket. This is not a sports jacket, I know that. But this is not that far removed from the concept of one. And so I kind of look at this as a more casual version of the other video I made where I'm wearing a sports jacket and a dress shirt. Well, this is not a dress shirt, but it is a button-down shirt. And this is not a sports jacket, but it has similar concepts. And I own a few of these. I have a navy one like this as well. And I've got a few like fake leather jackets that I like. But either way, it's this concept of wearing a jacket over a buttoned shirt. That's my thing. And refusing to wear t-shirts in public. That's a thing of the past. T-shirts are for maybe wearing in the gym or for running or going outside, but not to be for the public to see. And this is something I heard at some point. It's a joke, it's a laugh. But the best a man can look is by having on more layers of clothes. And you can assume the best a woman can look, the opposite. But it's true. Men are seen as better looking when they have more clothes on, specifically more layers. And those buttons have something to do with it. And I've been told it has something to do with like creating this V look. So we've got a V here, we've got a V here, and that's ultimately what it is. But I'm not wearing a t-shirt around in public anymore. So it's about being physically fit. It is about dressing nice and having clothes that fit well. And it's funny, little subtle things since I've been making my transformation. Here's something else new. Is how I smell. So I have never been able to handle like the spray colognes with alcohol. It like gives me a headache. And they all smell the same. They smell kind of cheap. They all remind me of Axe. Okay, that's just for me personally. So I finally found something that I wear every day, and I love it. And you'd think this is like a paid sponsorship. It's not. This is just me being passionate about Duke Cannon. So these cost $25, and I can tell you that because you can look on the back and see that $25. But so there's some irony in the ones that are my favorite, and I would own the whole collection. And maybe one day I will, but right now at $25 a pop, I've got two, and I wear one on each hand, hand and arm. That's how I like to personally do it. But the first one I bought was this one that's bourbon. So it's Duke Cannon Solid Cologne. I believe it's like a coconut oil base. That's what the base is instead of alcohol. Oak barrel bourbon. So I've already clarified, I do not drink alcohol at all at this point in my life. And, but yet I want to smell like bourbon, so that's funny. And also I do not consume tobacco at all, not even an occasional cigar, none of that at this point in my life. And so they have this leaf and leather one, but man, it smells like pipe tobacco or like a good cigar. It smells so good, and I've always, my entire life, even when I was a kid, I just loved the smell of tobacco. So I smell like bourbon and pipe tobacco all day, and I just love that, and it's hilarious. But these are very masculine scents. Now they've got all kinds of different scents of this. The Duke Cannon, they have one that's like Budweiser beer. They've got Veveter, if that's how you're saying it. They've got, but the concept is that they're more of like essential oil based, natural, rugged smells that, and again, I like just the way it kind of, it's like the texture of pomade a little bit where it goes on, smells good. So in review, it's important to me that I do not look like a soccer dad. Again, I am a dad. I have two kids. Neither of them play soccer at this point, but I don't want to look like I'm just another dad. So yes, a lot of dads these days shave their heads, but I think more so now compared to years ago when I was told that I looked like a soccer dad. Keep in mind, my body composition was different. I weighed probably 20 more pounds. I had a lot more fat on my body, and I didn't really have definition in muscle either at the time because I wasn't going to the gym. So now that I've changed all that and I'm working out 2 hours a day and mainly eating protein and that whole thing, and instead of like wearing more basic looking clothes, and that's another thing too, I was wearing size large back then. Now I wear size medium, so it's tighter fitting and it's closer fitting, and the proportions match me better because I'm 5'9". So to be 5'9" and wearing size medium clothes is naturally going to look better than wearing bigger clothes that's a large. Which, by the way, I'll end this video. Kevin Murray always leaves a comment asking me when I'm going to wear the green jacket. Well, I do have another green jacket that I got years ago, and it's a size large. At this point, I just wear it outside when I'm on my walks in the winter. This would be my new green jacket that I was able to score for like 20 bucks. I have this ability to find really good deals on clothes and pretty much just anything. So there we go. I feel I no longer look like a soccer dad. I think that at one point maybe I could have constituted one, but based on what my definition is of a soccer dad, or what it's not, to avoid being a soccer dad, you have a good body recomposition, you build muscle and you lose fat and you maintain that look. And then you dress accordingly. Smaller fitting clothes that are classic and fashionable, and I smell good, I guess, I mean specifically, but not just looking like a generic dad, I think. Like maybe that's why it bothers me. Soccer dad seems generic, and I'm okay with being basic, but I don't want to be generic. All right, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Your comments belong right here.